blistering report just released by the Department of Justice about the Baltimore City Police Department. That probe began a month after the death of Freddie Gray in April of last year. It sharply criticizes officers for using excessive force and discriminating against African Americans. WJZ is live with complete coverage. Mike Schuh and Megan McCorkle gathering reaction to this extensive investigation. But we start with WJZ investigator Mike Halgren. Details on that report, the problems it highlights, and the changes that have already been made. Mike.
Lynn, this is a monumental day for Baltimore City, and this report outlines in stark detail the systemic abuses police officers violating citizens' constitutional rights. We can tell you the framework of an agreement is in place between the Department of Justice and Baltimore City that still has to go before a judge who will ultimately enforce reform. The 14-month Department of Justice investigation into the Baltimore Police Department paints a disturbing picture. The DOJ finds police predominantly targeted African Americans who were vastly more likely to be stopped and searched for no reason, and that police repeatedly violated the constitutional rights of Baltimore citizens. Among the examples, a woman strip and cavity searched over a broken headlight. An African American man stopped 30 times in less than 4 years but never charged. And dozens of complaints, officers used racial slurs, misclassified, and never properly investigated.
The pattern or practice that we found results from long-standing systemic deficiencies in the BPD. The agencies failed to provide officers with sufficient policy guidance and training to collect and analyze data of officer activities and to hold officers accountable for misconduct.
The city requested the investigation after the in-custody death of Freddie Gray, which has led to reforms. But the Department of Justice found problems with some of those, including the new police transport vans, yet praised the willingness of leaders to seek reforms while conceding much more work must be done.
I'm looking forward to our partnership and moving forward with the Department of Justice. And as I've said a number of times, this isn't something that we're doing to police officers in Baltimore. It's something we're doing for police officers in Baltimore.
The DOJ also detailed retaliation against officers who blow the whistle on misconduct and recounted the ordeal of former officer Joe Crystal, who had a rat placed on his windshield.
It got to the point where really there was no place for me to be in the department.
A supervisor told an African-American police sergeant to mind your own business after he reported misconduct. A sergeant was denied overtime after refusing unconstitutional searches. Justice investigators found police had little support from the department, with decrepit training facilities and improper training on how to de-escalate situations, often leading officers to resort to excessive force. This is the first step toward reform, with federal and city leaders working to implement court-enforceable changes to one of the nation's largest police departments. Now, the mayor and police commissioner outlined a number of reforms that are already in place and will be in place, including a 7-page document detailing those. Many hope it is not just empty talk here, that the city's future depends on it. Live at City Police Headquarters, Mike Halgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Mike, thank you. And complete coverage continues with Megan McCorkle live with reaction from Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings. Megan?
Well, Congressman Elijah Cummings says he is not shocked by the information in the DOJ report, but he is saddened that the problems go so deep. The congressman says he hopes this is a transformative moment for Baltimore and the City Police Department.
I want us to have the elite of the elite. I want police officers to feel comfortable and good about their jobs and good about the people that they police with. And so that we will have a culture of excellence, a culture of respect, and a culture that treats every community, by the way, the same.
And the congressman praised Police Commissioner Kevin Davis for the reforms that have already been made, but says there is still a lot of work to do. Mary.
Megan, thank you. Complete coverage continues now with Mike Schuh live at City Hall with how city leaders are reacting to all of this. Mike?
Mary, nothing is surprising in this report at all, according to the city leaders I talked to. They say that critics have been saying this stuff for years, but the trick is getting the city to listen.
We asked for it, and we said we were going to cooperate with it, and I think it is a major, crucial step in bringing us together as a community.
I don't think anybody who lives in the inner city is not aware of what the practices have been in the past. And the question is that can we change these practices? I think that if you're a young man, 19, 20 years old, you probably have been pulled over, as they say, by the police dozens of times.
I grew up in the city of Baltimore. I didn't need the DOJ to come in here and tell me some of those specifics, right? I've seen it firsthand. And Baltimoreans have known this for decades. But now this is truly a sense of a validation of what folks have been crying out and screaming about for quite some time.
I'm a young black man that grew up in Baltimore in the 90s and 2000s, so this is my life. I lived it. I understand. I have been stopped. I have been frisked. I have all the things that it said is things that I have personally lived in my life. So our job now is to put our head down once the fanfare dies off in the next couple of days and start to get to work.
Everyone agrees this is going to cost a lot of money, whatever they agree to with the feds. I just got off the phone with the Councilman Costello, and he was saying that that really is the trick. In city government, you're there to listen. But how do we listen and get things done so the federal government doesn't have to come in the next time and tell us what to do? I'm Mike Schuh, WJZ Eyewitness News, reporting live at City Hall. Back to you guys on TV Hill.
All right, Mike, thank you. We now turn back to Mike Helgren live from outside City Hall. Mike?
We're joined by Adam Rutherford, a former prosecutor, current defense attorney. What are your thoughts on the scope of this report?
Well, the scope is obviously incredibly broad, and it's a really valuable report in the sense that it sheds a light on something that the criminal justice system as a whole really isn't designed to deal with terribly efficiently. Normally, when someone is stopped in violation of their constitutional rights, their remedy is in court. If evidence is seized that will be used against them, that evidence is suppressed in court. But what most of the interactions this report talks about were dealing with are circumstances where the police violated somebody's rights but didn't find any evidence, and so the case never started, it never gets to court, and vindicating those people's rights, the ones who were stopped without suspicion, without probable cause, and no evidence was ever recovered from them, that's the specific instance that this report sheds light on. And so the scope is very broad and it's extremely important.
Thank you very much for your perspective. Adam Rutherford will now send it back to Television Hill.
All right, Mike, outside Baltimore City Police Headquarters, thank you. WJZ has what you need to know about the Department of Justice report. It shows city police routinely violated the constitutional rights of residents by conducting unlawful stops and using excessive force. A large number of the stops being made were mostly in poor African-American neighborhoods. It also shows officers routinely discriminated against African Americans.